today I have another Halloween video for you guys with a brand new to me company in Graveyard Wonders. So this company is based out of Montreal in Quebec, Canada, that mainly focuses on elegant, dark, gothic, spooky scents year round. They have this really cool vintage goth aesthetic that I really love. They have a few core candles on their website that they sell year round, as well as some dark decor, body mists, and these really cool like sculpture candles. But along with their core candles, they also have a few seasonal options, which brings us to today's video, their Halloween line. So Graveyard Wonders has been on my radar for the past couple of years, mainly due to this Halloween line. I've seen a few of the Halloween pages that I follow over on Instagram mention their stuff pretty positively in the past, and their vintage aesthetic in their packaging really just caught my eye. So I've always wanted to see what the hype was all about, and this year for Halloween, I wanted to kind of dip my toe into some other small businesses out there just to get a real good feel of what everybody's offering. And I always love supporting small businesses. So I decided that this was the year that I was going to take the dive. So a couple of weeks ago, they had a special Halloween preview pre-order in which you could get this candle discovery set that included travel sizes of all 5 of their Halloween fragrances, which is what I ended up going for. It came in this really like heavy duty feeling black cardboard box, and it's actually really well made. There's like magnets here on the front to open up the box, and it comes with all 5 of the scents inside. Has really nice packaging. I believe that their full lineup comes out on this Saturday, July 27th, where you can get like the full sizes of all the candles. Unfortunately, I don't think that this discovery set is going to be offered, as I remember them saying that you could only get it during the Halloween preview. So I'll be the first one to say it here. These candles are definitely on the pricier side. I believe that this candle discovery set I purchased for $50, and just one of their regular sized 8-ounce candles retails for $40. Now it does have a posted 55-hour burn time, but definitely a lot for an 8-ounce candle. Now they state that the reason that they are on the pricier side is because of the handcrafted quality of all of them. The website states that they are a very small group of 3 that hand pours and hand molds, crafts all of their products. And to give them a little leeway on that, I can definitely see it in the design here. Like, this box is very well made, very handcrafted. It does feel like expensive, and especially with those sculpted candles too, it does look very intricate, and like a lot of thought and time was spent on perfecting them. So take that for what you will. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and jump into the scents here. All right, so up first here, we are gonna talk about Haunted Manor. So the description on Haunted Manor states, "You're opening the doors of the abandoned home down the road when you hear creaking floorboards. Candles flicker as a lonely ghost appears from behind velvet curtains to greet you." The scent notes on Haunted Manor are top of cashmere and vanilla, heart of clementine and white tea, and a base of amber, soft woods, and musk. So this thing scent-wise to me doesn't necessarily read very spooky or Halloweeny, but it does smell very pretty. It smells like your basic vanilla cashmere type scent with maybe just a hint of citrus in there. Not a lot to come through, but there is a little bit more of a zestiness than not. But mostly what I'm getting is that vanilla, that cashmere, and then definitely the amber and soft woods and musk at the base of this thing. This one smells very body care, so I have no doubt that this one would be very good in those body mists. Now, it doesn't necessarily evoke ghosts or creepy haunted manors to me, but I definitely could see like an old Victorian rich lady of the house wearing this as like a perfume. So yeah, as a Halloween scent, it doesn't do very much for me, but it is very pretty. If you love your vanilla cashmere scents, if you're just a big fan of vanilla body care-esque fragrances, you'll probably love this one. This one's just not for me personally. All right, so up next here, we are gonna talk about Afterlife. So the description of Afterlife states, you're sitting with friends around a crackling campfire, faces lit by dancing shadows. Ghostly tales unfold in the night air as chocolate melts on toasted s'mores. So the scent notes for Afterlife are a top of fir needle, citrus, and dark chocolate, a heart of wood smoke and sandalwood, and a base of balsam fir, mahogany, and spices. Okay, so Afterlife feels like the flip side of Haunted Manor, in that Haunted Manor is that feminine vanilla cashmere perfume scent, while Afterlife is the manly cologne scent. They both feel like they were formulated to be body care scents first and foremost, and then slipped into the candles. So straight off the top of this thing, you are getting a lot of that wood smoke, followed by the bitterness from those fir needles. Just a little bit of that citrus comes through to cut the bitterness of the fir. And then you're definitely getting that dark chocolate to bring a nice sweetness. But what's at the heart of this fragrance is 100% that mahogany. To me, what this fragrance smells like is Bath & Body Works mahogany teak wood, if you threw in some heavy wood smoke and some dark chocolate. Now, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Bath & Body Works mahogany teak wood or mahogany as a scent in and of itself, so I'm kind of surprised that I actually enjoy this one. Now, it's not my favorite fragrance of all time or anything, but I actually think it's done very well. That dark chocolate really saves this one from becoming too headache inducing for me, and that along with the wood smoke makes this one a lot more interesting than just your basic mahogany cologne fragrance. This one does feel like it would be very commanding as a body care fragrance. Like if you're wearing this and you walk into a room, people are definitely noticing. So yeah, as a fragrance, I actually do like this, and I feel like I would wear this. It feels very perfect for fall. Halloween, on the other hand, I'm not exactly sure, but as a candle fragrance, it's not exactly my favorite thing to be burning. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be reaching for this one all the time, but I am surprised by how much I do enjoy this one. All right, up next, let's talk about Samhain Spice. So the description of Samhain Spice states, you're obsessed with pumpkins, mentally carving jack-o'-lanterns with a pumpkin spice latte in your hand. Friends joke you'd turn into a pumpkin, and they might be right. So the scent notes for Samhain Spice are a top of pumpkin spice, pie crust, and coconut, a heart of cinnamon stick, butter cookie, and ginger, and a base of tonka bean and vanilla sugar. So yes, Samhain Spice is a pumpkin spice scent. Every great Halloween collection needs at least one pumpkin scent, and I think this one's not too bad. So it is very spice heavy. You do get a lot of that cinnamon stick. I'm definitely getting more of a red hot cinnamon out of this thing as opposed to a bakery spice. But speaking of bakery, this one does have a little bit of a bakery note to it. You do get a little bit of that pie crust in there and definitely a little bit of the butter cookie. Just a little bit of that ginger as well, which I really love in a pumpkin spice scent. Adds a nice little zest to it. This one to me also very much reminds me of, I don't think that they make them anymore, but I remember being obsessed a couple of Halloweens ago. There were these M&Ms that were like white chocolate and they were pumpkin pie flavored, and they were absolutely delicious. I don't know why they have not brought them back, but if you ever tried those out, this candle specifically smells like how those tasted. So this one does kind of get me a little bit nostalgic for that. It does smell like there almost is like a white chocolate type scent going on in there. There is a nice creaminess to it. So if you're a big pumpkin spice lover, you'll probably enjoy this one. It's not necessarily reinventing the wheelhouse or anything. With a basic pumpkin spice scent, you kind of know what to expect. This one does have nice touches of that pie crust and the butter cookie to make it just a little bit more interesting than just your basic like sweet cinnamon pumpkin from Bath & Body Works. Not necessarily blowing me away or anything, but I do enjoy it. I am a fan of pumpkin spice, so it's not hard for me to enjoy this one. So second to last here, we have Witching Hour. So the description for Witching Hour states, your eyes widen as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween. Spellbound, you're captivated by the magical aroma of sliced apples, bubbling cauldrons, and spices. The scent notes on Witching Hour are a top of fresh apple slices and apple cider, a heart of cinnamon and nutmeg, and a base of baked apples, vanilla, and hot sugar. This one is a really, really nice, refreshing apple. You are getting a little bit of that apple cider note off the top of this thing, and it almost does take on like a baked apple pie filling type vibe as well. Like maybe you just seared up some apple pie filling in a nice like cast iron skillet and threw it into like a cauldron of apple cider. The apple definitely does all of the talking on here. It's not really spice heavy, which I really, really love. It's almost reminiscent of like Yankee Candle's Cider House, but just a little bit less sweet than that and a little less of those spices. Now, like the others in this collection, this one's not necessarily the most Halloween evoking, but I think it's a really killer fall scent. It smells very nostalgic to me, like something that I would have smelled at a Halloween party in my childhood. This one has been the one that I keep picking up and smelling because it's just really refreshing and crisp and nice. Definitely one of my favorites of the whole collection. All right, and last but certainly not least here, we have House by the Cemetery. So the description of House by the Cemetery states, "It's a crisp autumn day in New England when you see the most beautiful home. The aroma of fallen leaves, orange trees, and clove dancing around ancient tombs surround you." The scent notes on House by the Cemetery are a top of golden peach, orange, and wild berries, a heart of maple leaf and clove, and a base of tonka bean and musk. I love this fragrance. This one smells so nostalgic to me for whatever reason. It just takes me back to those days of like getting out of school on a cold autumn day and walking under trees with those red and yellow leaves just falling all over the ground. So this one is a little bit interesting because in the fragrance notes, this lists on the top that it has golden peach and orange and wild berries, but I don't necessarily smell any of those in this fragrance. Maybe just a little bit of like a fruit medley, but I can't pick out distinctly any peach, orange, or berry notes. But where this fragrance really shines for me is that maple leaf note and the clove. This one has such a beautiful maple fragrance in it. It smells like dried crunchy leaves with like maple syrup drenched on top of them, which in theory sounds like a really weird scent combo, but it's really working for me here. And then that clove comes in to give it a really nice, warm and comforting vibe. And you are getting a nice creamy vanilla-like scent coming from the tonka bean in here that really wraps it all up. I noticed while burning this one that this kind of smells like if you took Bath and Body Works leaves and took out the apple note in it and added in maple syrup, which again is a very interesting direction, but I think it works really, really well. This one is a really killer fall fragrance in my opinion. It's definitely my favorite and 100% the standout of the collection in my opinion. All right, so now that we have made it through all of the scents, I wanted to talk about the performance of these candles. As you can see here, I have given them a couple of burns. And unfortunately, consistently across the board, these were very light in my experience. I would say that the Samhain Spice was the weakest one in my opinion, settling in at around a 3 out of 10 strength, followed by Witching Hour and Haunted Manor, which were a little better at around a 4 out of 10. And then the two strongest of the collection in my experience were House by the Cemetery and Afterlife. They both settled around a 5 out of 10. Afterlife was definitely the strongest one. It almost reaches a 5.5. It was the one that was noticeably present as soon as I lit it up, but it didn't necessarily get strong enough to blow me away after that. Now, this is a really big bummer to me, as there are a couple of scents in here that I actually do really enjoy. Specifically, the House by the Cemetery and the Witching Hour, I think are really, really nice fall scents that I would consider picking up in full sizes. But based on the performance of these little travel size ones and taking into account how much they are, I'm not exactly eager to be picking up any of the full sizes of these. Now, obviously, this is a smaller size and maybe a larger size would perform a little bit better, but these travel size options were available so that you could test if you like how the candle performs and smells before committing to a full size. So I feel if it was going to be a little bit stronger, it would have shown that in the sample size. So unfortunately, for the time being, I probably won't be committing to purchasing these, and also not really being able to recommend that you go out and purchase these, at least the candles themselves. Graveyard Wonders does have a lot of very cool options. Specifically, those candle sculptures I think are really cool decor pieces for Halloween, but on strictly the candle side of things, the performance was just not there for me. So hopefully in the future, they can continue to evolve these candles and maybe improve the performance of them, because I would consider trying them out again, just maybe not anywhere in the near future. So that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you guys have tried out anything from Graveyard Wonders, what your experience with them was, if you've maybe tried out any of the larger versions of them, if they performed better for you. And also let me know if you guys have any other small business recommendations out there for Halloween. I'm always on the lookout for new good spooky scents. Remember to leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Halloween candle content, because I always have more on the way very soon. Until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Bye.